Hi everyone, welcome to this brand new series of videos that are designed to give you the same kind of starter experience that you would get typically from your regular lessons when the teacher stood in front of you. Obviously, if you're watching these, you're doing this by yourself, you're doing it at home, but hopefully this will give you the same sort of experience and be useful to get back into the swing of memory recall, interleaving starters and your Formula Friday quizzes. The whole point of these videos is we are going to look at a number of things. We're going to do an interleaving starter like you would do typically. So we'll pick on things that you may have struggled with in the past or things that you just need to practice. And at the end of the video, there's going to be a quick Formula Friday style quiz with a few formulas on there for you just to practice and get that memory recall going so that whilst you're off, these things can be embedded in your mind. Specifically, when we've been doing interleaving starters in school, it's been really important that we've kind of picked on those key questions that come up all the time, the concepts to retrieve from your memory, and really the whole point of these videos is just to keep those skills fresh. We don't want, whilst you're off, for you just to be doing the new learning. Rather, we want you to keep going back over and practice the skills just like you would if you were in class. Of course, having an opportunity to learn these skills via repeated exposure is proven to be one of the best ways for you to get better at maths. One of the key things that I'm going to ask you to do is make sure that you've got your book ready, and if you need to pause the video at any point, I'll explain when that needs to be. So here are your first four questions for your interleaving starter. We've got this one about calculating the price of a pack of toilet rolls before an 85% increase. That's kind of topical. Might not be a million miles away from until it's up to £32. The second question is an evaluate using a negative fractional power. Third question, looking at the next term in a geometric sequence. And finally, simplify this algebraic fraction fully. I might give you a clue at this point because it's the first video. You want to factorize these things first. Okay, so at this point, pause the video, have a go at the questions, and the work solutions will appear shortly. Okay, so here are the work solutions. We were looking at calculating the price of a pack of 9 toilet rolls before an 85% increase. The toilet rolls are now priced at £32. The way to do this is you use your reverse percentages. So we want to know that the price, or want to know what the price is. We know that that had an 85% increase, so the multiplier would have been multiplied by 1.85, and that equals our new price. So working out the old price, we start at 32, you work your way backwards, and we get this horrible number on our calculator. Remember that it's a price that we're looking for, so we need it in pounds and pence, so there's some rounding to be done here. Next question is the evaluation question. So 81 to the minus a half. First of all, we remember that negative powers means we're going to do 1 over. We are absolutely not multiplying this by a half at any point, nor are we going to have a negative answer. So lots of those negative answers in the mocks that you've just done. So the negative means 1 over. The half means it's a square root. So our answer is 1 over the square root of 81, which is 1 over 9. Next one, calculate the next term in this geometric sequence. Geometric means there is a multiplier from term to term. So in this case, to get from 2 to 8, we can times by 4. It's the same multiplier here. 8 times 4 is 32. To get our final term, we're using that same multiplier, which is multiplying by 4. 32 times 4 is 128. And then finally, we've got this one. What we want to do here is to factorize the top, factorize the bottom. So if we were to factorize the top, we're finding numbers that multiply together to make 14, that somehow I can get a 5 from. You'll pick out your numbers as being 7 and 2. Because it's negative 5, you need negative 7 plus 2, and that works for this part as well. Similarly, at the bottom, you've got a difference of two squares, square root 49, you're going to get positive and negative 7. Now at this point, to get our final answer, what we need to do is to cross out, cancel out anything top and bottom. So this and this bracket are exactly the same. So this is now my final answer. X plus 2 over x plus 7. Final part of the video then is our Formula Friday. What we are going to do here is I've picked out 6 questions. I want you to write down what the formulas are. So you want to draw them out in the book, if you want to write them down and then test yourself before looking at the answers shortly. So pause the video now, have a go, and solutions will appear shortly. And here are the solutions for you to test yourself. So area of a parallelogram, we've got base multiplied by the vertical height. If there's a slopey length that's shown on the picture, we're going to ignore that. We are simply looking at the vertical height. Circumference of a circle, circumference is pi times diameter, or circumference is 2 pi r, whichever you prefer. Again, any of these things that you're not sure about, you need to go back, check out other videos that are online, either on my channel or on Dr. Frost Maths, so that you can practice them. Arc length, that's a little bit of the circumference. So given an angle, you will be able to work out what that little bit of the circumference is. And we do angle given out of 360 multiplied by the circumference. So the whole point of this is you are finding a proportion of the circumference. Next, volume of a prism, you've got the cross-sectional area times the length, or the area of the face multiplied by how long the shape is. Quadratic formula, x is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Make sure it's all over and not just over this discriminant part here. And finally, exact value of cos 30 degrees is root 3 over 2. Again, this is something that you need to practice. You need to recall these quite carefully before we move on. Finally, what I would like you to do is to let me know if you find these things useful. Then you can absolutely let me know in the comments if there's a particular topic that you are wanting me to put into the interleaving starters. If there's something that you'd always wanted to be able to do, but you always think everyone else can do, but you can't, you absolutely won't be the only person. Let me know in the comments, like and subscribe, and you will get links and more of these sorts of stuff from your class charts link, either from myself or from another teacher. Hopefully you found it useful. See you next time. Bye.